If you're a small business owner, you know that every dollar counts. And when it comes to investing in tools to protect your business from fraud, identity theft, or fake profiles, you want to be sure you're getting value for your money. Hi, you guys, this is Anmol Memon, an AI product analyst at allaboutai.com. And I recently actually came across FaceCheck ID, the facial recognition tool that claims to help with identify and verification process. But for small businesses, is it really worth the price? Let's dive into the FaceCheck ID review and figure it out ourselves. Now, if you're asking me what is FaceCheck ID, it's basically just a facial recognition tool that you can use to track employees, track your business partners, and see what they're doing before you collaborate with them to understand what's going on. So right now I'm running this demo. It's running the search on internet and seeing if the profile matches. That's amazing. That's how you get results. We're going to be running a real-time image as well, and we'll see how authentic or how close that is. But right now the demo says that it's going to get close enough results. We'll see about that. All right, I'll just say I'll go back. I'm coming here and I'm going to browse a picture of myself for you guys to see how much of an accuracy this tool provides, right? So I just browsed a picture. We're waiting for it to be loading. Great, it's loaded, and now I'm just going to go ahead and search the internet by face. Let me just complete this test. Okay, you gotta prove you're humans. All right, we're waiting, and now it's searching the internet. Let's see what it has to say about my face. All right, so before I begin with the results or like how I find the tool, basically it has a certain scale from 90 to 100. It says, it's a certain match, more or much likely is going to be the same person. 83 to 89, it's a confident match. It's 70 to 82 is uncertain match. It could be, it could not be. All right, and of course 50 to 69 or 69 to 50 is just weak match. The profile barely just isn't same. So for my results, apparently it has not given me any of the certain or confident matches, which is surprising because of course as an analyst I use internet. There's a lot of pictures out there, but it's not gauging it. So right there, there's one flaw that I see. All right, now if like I sign in or log in to my FaceCheck ID account, or like my FaceCheck ID app, I just need a second to log into the account. All right, I'm inserting my ID in here. Now, one big problem with the tool I face, all the small businesses would face, is the credits. You need at least 3 credits for one picture scan. And, it's not like this is cheap or something like that. When you look at the credit prices, it's a lot of money. It's like $19 for like 150 credits, $47 for 400 credits. And the point is that these would expire within a specific or certain amount of time, which I think it's not very cost effective for a small business, to be honest. If like you're a large enterprise, I think that would do justice, maybe, because you'd have to run checks repeatedly on profiles, and you'll try to understand your clientele or whatsoever, your employees or whatsoever. But for a small business at this point, I think there's a lot of money, because I'm not going to be hiring people rapidly unless you're an HR firm or something like that. Again, even in those 400 credit hours or 150 credit hours or whatever amount of money you're paying, uh, there's not much of extra search or like advanced search. If you want to go ahead with like advanced search with continuous search, telegram alerts, export to PDF thing, you have to pay around $600. This is huge amount of money and a lot of money in my consideration. again. And then when you come up to, like, let's say even if you're buying this, when you come up for the paying process, it's a lot of hassle because it's only letting you pay in cryptocurrency. Either you have to have a Bitcoin or a Litecoin. Like, either ways you need to have a cryptocurrency to process. Okay, so I think that's a huge hurdle if you want businesses or if you want normal people to get your tool. That thing needs to be resolved. And another point of mine is that even if you want a person, let's just assume an entity, to use your tool or to buy such an expensive tool, you need to at least give some free credit. You can only run one search, which we just ran, and that's about it from the tool. All right, one more important thing to discuss or to bring light to is FaceCheck ID safe to use. For me, it's a big concern because if I am posting pictures of myself or of people around me, I want them to feel safe. I don't want them to think that I'm misusing their information. And this tool actually keeps the information to itself for like 1 to 5 days. And then after that, it just deletes it automatically. I think this period of time is not safe for the information to be available on the internet or to the tool specifically. It could be prone to others as well, I am assuming. So, all in all, my experience with FaceCheck App ID is simple to use, I would say. Like, when you log in, you have this toggle dark mode, or like you can just shift to light mode. This thing I really liked. It's a simple interface. You don't have to do much. All you have to do is just, insert a picture and you're good to go. With a clean design, it just lets you understand the formation very easily. However, if you take my final verdict for it, like, is FaceCheck ID worth it for small businesses? At the end of the day, FaceCheck ID has some great features, I'd say, but I just don't think it's the best choice for small businesses. As we mentioned earlier as well, the free limited plan, the difficult payment process, and the concerns about data privacy make it just hard to justify it for at least small businesses because, again, each dollar matters to us. But like, if you're a larger company with frequent verification needs, maybe it's worth considering. Again, as a small business owner, I wouldn't make the smart choice. And overall, considering the interface and considering the app, I'd give the tool a 3 out of 5. I think there's a lot of improvement needed in the tool and there's a lot of room to grow. All right, you guys, that's my take on FaceCheck ID. If you've used it or found a better alternative, you know the drill. You have to comment it below and we'll talk about that. I'll be more than happy to do it. See you in the next video.